One Piece, 10 Most Underrated Villains in the Whole Anime, Ranked. One Piece characters are always wildly celebrated. However, these highly underrated villains are always left out of the conversation. Mangaka, Eiichiro Oda, has created some of the most iconic villains in his long-running manga series, One Piece. The antagonists of this shonen series are more nuanced than one might think. Blackbeard, the most dangerous pirate in the world, tells the main character to continue to follow his dreams. Sir Crocodile manipulates the entire country for years, just to find an ancient weapon. These are only a few of the amazing villains of this amazing series. Oda's villains are so acclaimed that most of them fall under the radar. This is a result of some of them not playing a bigger role as the other antagonists. Also, some of these villains appear before the narrative really took off. Either way, they're great characters and need to be respected. 10. Caesar Clown. Caesar Clown often gets overlooked as a villain for having a silly persona. It's true, he may be a little silly, but he is still a dangerous villain. He possesses the ability to remove oxygen from a human's body, courtesy of his Gasu Gasu no Mi ability. Let's not forget, he is a genius when it comes to creating weapons of mass destruction. Caesar once set off a chemical weapon on Punk Hazard, which decimated its environment. He's also not above giving children experimental drugs. Yeah, this guy is all kinds of bad. 9. Buggy the Clown. Same with Buggy as it is with Caesar, he gets overlooked as a villain for his persona. Buggy may not be the most threatening villain, but he is relatable. Buggy is the type of person to hold pointless grudges against someone for no reason whatsoever. For instance, the main reason why he despises Shanks is that he deems Shanks responsible for him swallowing the Bara Bara no Mi. He mainly only dislikes Luffy because he reminds him of Shanks. Everyone has met someone like Buggy in their life. He is a petty individual who holds pointless grudges. 8. Hody Jones. The next villain on this list is the Fishman, Hody Jones. Hody Jones gets a lot of flack from the One Piece community, seeing that they believe him to be one-dimensional. Some may even compare him to be an Arlong clone. This couldn't be further from the truth. Hody may not be as layered as Crocodile or Doflamingo, but he is an interesting villain. Hody is a result of someone reacting to a racist world in an unconventional way. He has despised humans from a very young age, and it just manifested over time. Queen Otoheim tries to prevent the hatred from growing within the youth by trying to make peace between the fishmen and the human race. Now, Hody hates everyone, including his own race. He even laments he has no grudge against his own, he just enjoys killing people. Arlong never attacked anyone from his race. He dislikes humans, but he only disliked humans. 7. Gecko Moria. The Thriller Bark arc is one of the least popular arcs in the fandom, namely because of Moria. No one seems to like a goofy antagonist in this series. They seem to forget that the majority of One Piece characters have humorous character quirks. Especially the series' main characters. For instance, Zoro's a serious character, but he has a habit of getting himself lost. Oda's a good character writer because he's able to show a character's strength, as well as their faults. Gecko Moria is a rather strange character with an odd character design, but again, this is One Piece. The majority of the characters have abstract character designs. Furthermore, Moria was a warlord, which means he is indeed a threat to others. He also has a dangerous devil fruit ability to match. He can steal a victim's shadow, and if the victim does not retrieve his or her shadow from Moria before the sun comes up, they will cease to exist. 6. Eneru. Eneru is another character that often gets left out of the great One Piece villain debate. Many may not care for Eneru, because he was one of the very few main villains the Straw Hats encountered in the Grand Line that's not a pirate or a warlord. So, they write him off as some generic villain. Eneru is an electric devil fruit user with a god complex. He completely cares for no one other than himself. Moreover, he will even kill his own loyal subjects. Yes, this character has been done before, but Oda really wrote him as a delusional person. Eneru's master plan was to destroy all of Skypiea because he believes it doesn't belong in the sky. Afterward, he wants to travel to the moon, because he believes it to be the home of God. Luffy ends up foiling his plans to destroy Skypiea, however, towards the end of the arc. He is seen traveling to the moon. 5. Mr. One. Mr. One or Daz Bones is a criminally underrated villain in this series. He was the first villain in the Grand Line to push Zoro to his limits. He has an awesome devil fruit ability, which turns his entire body into blades. He's the strongest member in Baroque Works, next to Sir Crocodile. Of course, Mr. One most likely gets overlooked, because he is in the same arc as Crocodile. Crocodile is revered as one of the most iconic villains in the series. Fans primarily love the Alabasta for the very reason of Mr. Zero being in it. Not to mention Mr. One works under Crocodile. So, fans just view him as a flunky. But he is so much more than that. 4. Magellan. Vice Warden of Impel Down, Magellan, doesn't get the credit he deserves for being awesome. For the record, this is one main villain from an arc Luffy does not defeat. In fact, he nearly dies from fighting him. Magellan's entire body generates poisons, thanks to his devil fruit ability, the Doku Doku no Mi. Since Luffy specializes in hand-to-hand combat, he can't hit him without getting poisoned. Even when the Straw Hat Captain found a way to combat Magellan's poison ability, he still could not beat him. 3. Virgo. What mainly makes Virgo so interesting, is that he was a double agent for Doflamingo. He purposely joined the Navy and rose up in the ranks, to benefit the Doffy family. It's no wonder Doflamingo was such a powerful warlord. Another reason why Virgo is an interesting villain is his quirk. He habitually leaves remnants of food on his face. Don't let this comical aspect of his personality fool you. Virgo is a proficient Haki user. As a matter of fact, took both Smoker and Law power combined to take him. 2. Captain Kuro. Words can't describe how Kuro is so underrated. It seems highly unlikely that he is the main antagonist of the Syrup Village arc. He never appears to be a villain. He does seem strict and he didn't like Usopp. However, no one in the village cares for Usopp, he's a liar, after all. This results in Kuro not seeing Usopp as a threat when he tells the village that he's a pirate. No one will believe him. He not only obtains the trust of the village and his employer, Kaya, but the audience as well. The man pretends to be a butler for 3 years, in order to steal his employer's fortune, so he can retire from being a pirate. 1. Rob Lucci. Lucci is one of the main antagonists from one of the best arcs in One Piece, yet he never gets mentioned. Enies Lobby has some of the best fights in the whole series of One Piece. Namely, Lucci vs. Luffy. Lucci's devil fruit ability wasn't the only thing that is dangerous about him. The CP-9 agent was trained to kill from a very young age. He has been conditioned to believe every heinous act the world government omits is for the good of mankind. He also outclasses Luffy in every facet, when it comes to fighting. Thus, resulted in Luffy creating Gear 2 and Gear 3, respectively. One Piece, 5 other crews Zoro would love to join, 5 he would hate.